This is Steve from Survey My Earnings. And today I am talking about how much money I made in February 2025 using survey sites and apps. So this is an ongoing series of mine. I plan on doing it every month and maybe even more often than that if something exciting happens. But we'll start, we'll simply just get right into it. You can see the total. I made $431.01 doing surveys, mostly surveys. I played some games, I'll talk about those. Um, so, mostly surveys. So, this spreadsheet just contains sites and apps that I use on a regular basis. You can see that some of them don't have any entries in that column, and that's just because I didn't cash out um, for that for that particular site in February. For example, I made some money at Swagbucks in February. I made some money at Slice the Pie in February, but I don't count it until I cash out. So I haven't done that for those. I haven't reached the cash out milestone for those two yet. But so I know some people like to count the money as soon as they've made it. I don't do it until it hits my PayPal or my account, which is all of them except for Amazon Turk. Go to my PayPal account. Amazon Turk goes to my checking account. So I don't count the money until it gets to either my checking account or PayPal. So anyway, so here we go with, we'll just start off in the column A, prolific. I've said this before, but in my opinion, prolific is the absolute best site for doing surveys, and I call them a survey academic study site because a lot of what they do are studies that are performed by universities. And they're terrific. They are in the UK, and so this particular column has a formula because these entries are all in British pounds. Um, and so I have this formula to convert them to US dollars. Uh, Everything else are just completely in US dollars, and you can just add them up. So I made $165 with Prolific in the month of February. And as is typical, it was my biggest earner. Connect Cloud Research, a very good month, 82.22. Paid Viewpoint, I made $10.65. Amazon Mechanical Turk, $3.20. User testing, for those of you who've been around a little bit, user testing has kind of, I mean, it's been at user testing for a long time, but they acquired IntelliZoom a while ago, and these entries that I have here and the surveys that I have been doing used to be all IntelliZoom, but they've user testing has acquired that, completely acquired IntelliZoom now, so that's how I refer to it. So user testing, $35 at user testing. Forthright, $16.25. That's an excellent amount from them. They all of these sites that I use are great in some way. Forthright is interesting in that they have their own surveys to do, and then they have partner surveys. And if you do their own surveys, once you do three of them, you don't even have to complete three of them. You have to just attempt three of them. They will give you a $2 bonus. But the good thing is that the vast majority of the time with them, when they have a survey that is their own, you will not get disqualified. Well, every once in a great while, yes, but most of the time you don't. But that's their issue. It's not an issue, but their situation is that they don't really have a bunch of surveys at any given time. So $16.25 is pretty good for them. But what's really good is the amount of time that it took to make that, was not very much time at all. So very worth the time there. Forthright. Um, 5 surveys. I made $15 at 5 surveys this month. And they had a situation where they had a short period of time where instead of giving you $5 for 5 surveys, they doubled it to $10 for 5 surveys. And I took advantage of that. And that's what that first deposit of $10 is. So good for them. Excellent. I appreciate that. $15 from them. Hey Piggy. Hey Piggy is an excellent site, and I should really use it more than I have been. I love the layout there. Their surveys are very fair, and every once in a while they have a survey that's just pretty short and gives you a lot of money. So I'm pretty impressed with them. They have a new thing there where they have like a piggy bank, and it gets fuller and fuller and fuller over time. And you can try to crack open the piggy bank, and it's based on how many surveys you've completed. And if you crack it open, it has a little jackpot in there, and you can win that. So that's kind of cool. I've never won the jackpot, but you can see that other people have. It's kind of fun. Survey Junkie, $5.06 at Survey Junkie. Inbox Dollars. I said I would talk about some games that I've been playing. And at Inbox Dollars, some of these are surveys. Some of them are, some of it is due to they have like a daily poll you can take, and some little paid email things that you can read, and allows you to earn a few cents. But the bulk of this is from games that I played in February. And I've talked about 2 of them already on this channel. One of them is CrowdSort. And in total, I made $133.30 at CrowdSort, but it's being spread out over a couple of months. So $80 of it just came today. Today is March 1st. So I will realize that in my March earnings. So I made a decent amount of money from CrowdSort, and then also a game called Merge Away. I made $25.70, and so those 2 games total there are the bulk of what's there. So it's pretty good, $75. Um, so I've said this before, but in my personal opinion, and my personal behavior, is I'm not going to play a game if I don't find it fun. And so I found those 2 games fun, and they were also reasonable as far as earning some money. So that was cool. So I like those 2. Again, they're Merge Away and CrowdSort. MVR Community, I made $8. This is the last instance of MVR Community for me, until they have something else new for me to do. But I was doing some surveys for them solely on the Kohl's department store, and they stopped doing that. So I earned $8 in February, and that's going to be it. So that was my February total, $431. This is my spreadsheet here. I got the tabs for the different months. I've started March already, but I'll just go back and show you what I did do in January. I have a video on this also. But in January, I made $324.79. And in February, I did a little better, $431.01. And really, the only reason is I did some more surveys. I've been doing this since March of 2023, and I really haven't found too much like fluctuation of not being able to do surveys, and then all of a sudden in a month there's a boatload of surveys to do. I mean, there's a little bit of that, but really, as far as the earnings go, it's really just based on how much time I put in. Um, the more time you put in, the more time I put in with taking surveys, the more money I make. So that's it. Well, that was it for February. $431.01. Until next time, bye.